welcome to this very special episode of Building Benji's Movie Park in Planet Coaster. Today I can finally show you what is a pretty much finished area in this park. Let's just go and make our way all the way towards the brand new, or well, not new, but finished area just past the ship. I just absolutely love the lighting in this game. Just look at this. It's beautiful. Anyway, if we go to the right here, you'll see we are slowly entering Jurassic Park. Off screen, I did quite some building. I finished a bunch of elements in this park that were previously completely bare, unfinished. Put all the final little things in place, added some interior bits. Really, it is pretty much finished besides a few little points. And one of those is dinosaurs. Elements that actually really fit the theme. The reason for that is I'm secretly hoping that we will have some of those elements in the future, either in DLCs or the base game, I'm not sure. But I'm really hoping we maybe get some sort of scenery pack that includes elements such as dinosaurs. That would really fit this area. Now first, let's do a quick little run through this area. Here's a T-Rex, you can see it better in just a second. But this is looking so nice with the low lighting. It is just very, very nice. We've got the coaster going on here. Oh. Yeah, I really do think this finally came together as it should have been coming together much earlier. It's not a crazy big area, as you can see. It's pretty much just this, and then when you go here, that's already the exit. There's the entrance to the coaster, of course. And then, as you can see, that's the exit of the area. So it's not super big, but it is quite nice nonetheless. Allow me to zoom out and kind of change the lighting to a bit more of a plain. There you go, some plain lighting. Back here, this is where I did the most off-screen. This was pretty much completely bare, just grass. But as you can see, this now looks really nice and lush. Even added some ramps over here to make sure things don't drop off. I even added some cool interior to this cave, along with the visitor center, which I think that's where we should start. So let's go over here. As you can tell, I added some text saying Log Flume, which is the entrance to the ride, and then the visitor center in general. As you can also see, there's now a nice restaurant here, which of course was added later. Get your food and just sit down. All of this is invisible path. I just love that you can do that now. Just a little something to make it feel slightly more alive. Then if you go inside, this is where I think this turned out pretty sweet. I would of course still really love to add some sort of skeleton or a dinosaur or anything like that, but this is what I could do so far. Particularly this, I think, is nice. I just added some separate text layers and some plates. It's not super accurate, but you definitely get the idea. Over here, we've got some eggs, which also looks pretty cool. Probably the most dinosaur-like elements I was able to put in here. Other than that, it's pretty basic. This staircase is temporary until maybe I get a new idea to do that better. But yeah, just simple, nothing too crazy. And then when you move on, you go towards this back section of the area. I've already shown you this in previous videos, but you can just walk all the way across until eventually you get to the station here. The stations are probably the most boring parts of this area. There's not much to it. It's pretty basic, but I just didn't really know what to do with it because it's a station, and so it's also Jurassic Park. It's just nothing too crazy, I guess. And then, well, you start the ride and you get out on the back side here. But yes, that's basically the visitor center. It looks pretty accurate, but I did add some things I liked myself, such as the restaurant. That is not very accurate to the real thing, but besides that, I do think it looks really quite nice. It has the same vibe, and that is what's most important. Then the dinosaur. As you can tell, it looks a little bit goofy, but I guess it's better than having no dinosaurs at all. The stone dinosaur I built was ass, let's be real. So this is definitely a little something. I did add a motor inside so the head actually turns. Yeah, it's pretty whack. We simply don't really have any better ways to build dinosaurs. I also did try to add an opening jaw, but basically the least amount you can spin it is a quarter, which, as you can tell, is just way too far. Looks super weird. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to make this work in a nice way. I do know about that one guy who made a crazy accurate dinosaur, but I'm not willing to spend that much time and effort on one thing. I'm sorry. That's just too much work for me right now. Also, just this already took way too long, so I'm sorry. Anyway, in the middle here, there's a little puddle with a bunch of fountains and some bubbles underwater. Looks nice. Also, again, pretty accurate to the real thing. And then the walking area only allows for, well, this space right here. We've got some nice restaurants or stalls, really, I guess. Pizza Pen, whatever this is. You can get some food here and then sit down over at these picnic tables. Nice and basic, but it works. And then when you go towards the left of the area, you get the entrance to the Fort Explorer Adventure. This queue I also spiced up a little bit. At least the interior, this is all still the same, but it's nice. It's just a bit through the jungle. Once you get up here, however, this is where things changed. The science fiction pack actually added a lot of cool items I was able to use here. For example, again, the eggs with the robot kind of thing, some animatronics. They're not very accurate, but it's fine. It's better than nothing. I guess it adds some life to it. And on the other side, it's just some computers, some screens, and some lights on the ceiling. In general, these new ceiling pieces look really cool. I love those. And outside, you just basically go up here, all the way up the stairs to the station, which also is pretty basic. I just added a bunch of cables and little wall panels, but besides that, it's nothing too fancy. So yeah, that is the station. The train, however, does of course look really, really sweet. Probably one of my favorite parts about this area. It looks pretty damn accurate to the real Fort Explorer from the movies, so that is cool. Even on the back, I added some red lights. Super sweet. Absolutely love that aspect. So yeah, pretty cool. And then getting out is simply on the back and then back to the entrance. So that works fine. This, of course, is based off the Velociraptor pen, which also has these kind of fences on the top. And you may have noticed all these scratch marks, which I think really adds that bit of life to it, that bit of, you know, history. Previously, this could have been attacked by dinosaurs, by velociraptors, who knows. And here you've got the train going into the velociraptor cage, which I tried making this go up and down, but it did not work because you can't actually change how long it stays up, which is very annoying, but unfortunately, this is what it's gonna have to be. It would always at some point slam into the train, which is just not ideal. If you watch the series, you know. So yeah, then you get the rest of the track, which is, to be fair, the layout from above looks pretty sweet. I am pretty happy with this. It's nice. After the second launch, it is very short, of course. That's the one thing I should have probably changed, but you know, it's still decent. I don't complain too much about that. So that is most of the area you can actually walk on. Actually, let's do the POV of this coaster first, and then afterwards I'll show you some more elements that you don't really see much because you go through it very fast. So let's get to that right now. So yeah, it is pretty fast, but I really, really like it, especially from this point. You go through all the bushes, all the landscape. I just absolutely love how lush all of this looks. I did go pretty crazy with all these ferns, but it just looks so good. You can also probably tell by the smoothness, it has definitely gone down a little bit, especially if you go towards some place that isn't as crazy. You can tell this is just much, much smoother, whereas here, it's definitely starting to get a bit choppy. I might have to get a new graphics card soon. I still have a 3090 Ti. Time for an upgrade, I think. Yes, So yeah, the coaster goes through here. I just absolutely love all of these elements, all of these sections. Added some wood here for, you know, some variety. But everything else is pretty much just greenery, leaves, bushes, palm trees, all that good stuff. These ramps I also added here. I felt like since it goes straight over the log flume, might be good. You don't want phones falling on your head. But so yes, you make your way back to the second launch, and then you launch again all the way over this top hat, which, well, it is very high. It's kind of similar to Velocicoaster, which is unintentional, to be completely fair, but still, it's obviously very similar to Velocicoaster in the way of it is a roller coaster that's Jurassic Park themed. It is black-ish, and well, it's multi-launched. So then you get this super fast, super sharp turn into the block breaks all the way over there. So yeah, I like the layout, like I said, but maybe slightly longer would have been fun. Then next would be the second big ride in this area, that being the log flume. Now this is a very, very long ride, like very long. I will include the whole thing, but I recommend you skip through it because it is, well, if you're not actually here, it's not that interesting because there aren't any dinosaurs yet. Once I add all the dinosaurs that are potentially, hopefully, I pray, gonna be here, it's gonna be a lot cooler, but until then, if that even happens at all, this is what we're gonna have to deal with. So yeah, I'll play the ride and then I'll be right back with you. This ride is definitely not my favorite. Looking back, this drop is also very high. Like, this seems unrealistically high. But it's cool, I guess. I mean, it's a video game, we can do that, but still not very realistic. I do, however, really like the sections that are indoors. For example, this whole part. This turned out really good. I did some experimenting with lights, and I found out that really it is actually quite good if you know what you're doing. Like, all of this, the lighting looks so good. All the shadows, it all just fits in place. Then here, of course, you've got the guys. They actually have guns, but they're supposed to be pickaxes. You know, digging for amber, which I thought was just a very fun little element. The gunshots, pretend they're not there. You don't really see the guns from here, which is why I put them here. But, well, pickaxes would, of course, have been much, much better. But yes, then you go outside, backwards, through this section of the layout, which is really nice if the coaster comes along. That's just very cool. Yes, this second indoor section is slightly plain. It's a bit boring, but it has to lift inside, so what can you really do? Of course, the whole structure around is custom, but yeah, it's a lift. What can I say? Then you go up and you go into the big drop. You've all seen it. And occasionally, you've got these splashes going on here. Let's wait for that to happen so you can see. Hello? There you go. I thought that was just a fun little detail to add. And then, yeah, all these sections here, you'd ideally want to have dinosaurs in there. If we never get dinosaurs, I will build them custom, but until I know for sure, I'm not going to put too much effort in that. I also made these, which are, again, this is just a plank. White thing is a plank. This is a sign. And these are text items. It looks pretty close to the real thing. I would have really liked to just be able to put an image in here, but we cannot, unfortunately. This is the only cave that isn't finished yet, but again, I don't want to overdo it because I don't know what else is going to be added later. Maybe some really cool things come out still and I can add those in here. We'll see. But yeah, besides those few elements, this is all pretty much all finished. Also, a fun little detail are the toilet stalls here, which of course are referencing the T-Rex toilet scene from Jurassic Park, which I thought was just a fun little addition. So there you have it. And then I guess that is pretty much all there is to see here. It's not too big, to be fair, but it's quite detailed. Mostly due to all the plants that are here, which I'm also pretty sure is the reason why it's starting to get slow. But, well, what can you do? Also not helping is that I'm recording this in 4K, 60 FPS, which, you know, is pretty heavy stuff. Yes, I do really like this. There's also a hidden lake here. Why? I don't know. I guess for the top view, it's nice. But yes, that is pretty much the Jurassic Park area. Towards the back here, this is where it would transition into the Indiana Jones area, which will be here. If you've seen my community post, you'll know that the next videos are going to be Indiana Jones. The Harry Potter area is starting to get slightly boring. I think so. A bunch of you guys think so. So the logical thing is to step away from that for a while and later get back to it. In the meantime, over here, I have very, very cool plans. Of course, again, a wooden coaster, just like the original Benny's Movie Park, but it's definitely going to be a lot nicer than the original movie park, so stay tuned for that. But then, yes, I think for today, that is pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single future video, and then I hope I'll see you in the next one.